Remember how in the last devlog I naively said, I use Paint.net for my texturing, and I might get a sprite. Yeah, I got a sprite, like, immediately after that, maybe the next day, I can't remember. It's amazing, by the way, you should totally try it out if you haven't. It's so good for pixel art. I don't even know how. It just is, probably because it's made for it, but like, it just makes it so much easier. I don't know why. Anyway, I really suck at keeping track of my own progress. I'm not that good at the whole devlog thing yet, and I keep forgetting to actually record progress and me making stuff and stuff along the way. So I hope it'll be more interesting later when I have more actual game progress to show. I'm not gonna lie, the best way of remembering what I've done for these devlogs is looking at my GitHub repository and reading my questionable commit names. I should get better at naming them too. Anyway, here's some of the progress. I started making better movement that'll be more like what the actual game uses, but you can see here, ignoring the yellow arrow that I used to help me work out stuff, like which way was which, how the diamond moves in whatever direction the red line and yellow arrow is going. I further tweaked my camera system to introduce what I think is classed as culling. I'm not entirely sure on the definition of that, but I'm pretty sure that this is it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, basically I'm just not bothering to draw things that aren't actually visible. It's a common like game dev trick, just save performance. It's like, what's the point of drawing stuff you can't see, you know? As you can see here, the text stops printing whenever the green box, which is the actual whole drawn area of the shape, is completely off screen. It saves a bunch of computational effort, and I should probably boost frame rates later. I feel my Python programming skills are not the best, and I'll probably run some performance hits, but I can optimize it when it becomes a problem. I also started making some simple CPU-based visual effects that I think make the sprite stacks and eventually other things pop a lot more. You can see a simple outline, which is based off of, but also pretty much just is, the Fluffy Potatoes design. At least I think they came up with it, so thanks to them. They're a legend of the Pygame development scene. I see a lot of other people online point to them for examples of what you can do. If you're getting into Pygame, watch them. I'll link them in the description, they're amazing. They are also a massive inspiration for this. Their game Pixcarts is probably one of the reasons I decided to make this in Pygame, and just at all, I think it looks amazing. You can also see here I made a pixelation effect, which aims to help make some of the sprite's text more convincing as well as look cool. It works by taking the image, scaling it down so it becomes pixelated, and then scaling it back up again so it's the same size as it was. I also draw some new sprite stacks of new vehicles. There's red, green, and blue ones for now, but obviously I'll make more later. I think these look great. I'm really happy with how they've turned out so far, and I think the outline and pixelation work really well together. I also made a UI system, which is awesome. Unfortunately, I decided that I hate it. It's a pain to manage, and I'm going to rewrite it a lot simpler, so I won't go into detail here. I'll talk more about it when it's nicer. The plus side of that UI system is that I made a custom pixel font rendering system that I'm really proud of as part of it. I will be keeping that of it. Here's some text rendered with it from the main menu. I added a bunch of random characters in it so I could fulfill my inner desire to type words in other languages. So I can type currently in English language, Suomen kieli, Eesti kieli, and Deutsch Sprache. I apologize for my pronunciation. The font has a name, by the way, but I'm not going to say it. Finally, I added another sort of big thing for my to-do list, which is controller support. It took ages and I had a massive headache with a bug caused by me duplicating lines of code and then forgetting to change the values of the variables defined within those lines of code, and I did that multiple times. That's the first inside joke within the code of this game, which is from when I was telling someone about this. I didn't know how to show off the controller support, so here's a screen recording of my controller test screen which I made to test all the buttons. As you can see, it's a controller. But you might be faking it, I hear you not asking, because why would I do that? So here's a video I shabbily recorded with my phone that honestly you can't even see anything with, but here's anyway. I'm using an 8-bit Do Ultimate, by the way. They're amazing. I love it. It's the best controller I've ever had. Anyway, I think that's all the development stuff I have for this video, but here's a bit about game design, I guess. I still don't have a name for the game, but I think I will by the next video. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I saw this video on YouTube, which I'll link in the description, that talks about how many indie games have pretty self-explanatory names. I want to kind of avoid that and not just call this game something like Rogue Kart or whatever, but I think I've been good at that before. I mean, my two most popular games among my massive user base, that is my friend groups, are called Not Very Cash Money and Bottle Up, and neither of those you can immediately guess what the game is by the name, so I'll get back to you on that. Besides, when I have my own branding and logo, it'll make making thumbnails way easier, and I won't have to pester my friend Gabo for help with thumbnails. Um, as for these devlogs, I tried to pace myself on the script reading a bit more to make the video a bit longer. I'm well aware I speak quite fast. As well as trying to make more engaging editing. I hope you liked it, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Anyway, that's all. Make sure you like if you liked the video, and subscribe if you want to know more where this game is going, and I hope to see you back. Have a nice day.